Declaration of Independence to describe us as merciless Indian savages whose known rule of warfare is undistinguished destruction of all ages, sexes, and conditions.
Yesterday we were in the mall and we were just looking around in the stores, and I was by myself walking around and looking at the stuff, and 3 white girls were looking at me like I shouldn't have been in there because the store that you'd have to pay lots for clothes. And they were looking at me like I shouldn't have been there, or like I was going to steal something.
So how did that make you feel when you experienced that?
Well, it makes me feel really hurt because I'm just a human being just like everybody else is, and I can afford things just like they can.
If you had a chance to sit them down and talk with them, what would you tell them?
That I'm not different from them, that I have feelings just like them, and that just because I'm Indian doesn't mean I'm from another planet.
Clerks and everything were watching me. I mean, it's like they were watching me and not her. And I was wondering, like, why are they just watching me? Why aren't they watching her, you know, because she was white? And I guess they didn't figure that she'd steal anything. So I felt really offended by that.
Mm-hmm. One payday evening, I took my family out to eat. We were celebrating payday. We walked into the restaurant, and everybody in that restaurant just off the reservation quit eating and looked up at us. I looked at my family. We're all wearing clothes. So then I thought they must be staring because we were Shanabs. Everybody was looking, old people, young people, kids in high chairs. So I put my finger on my head and swiveled around and give them a 360-degree view of this Shanab. I noticed my son did the same thing.
In this particular experience, my friend and I are looking for some new clothes. So we look around the store, we found some jackets we really liked. I saved my money over the summer and was looking for a new jacket. "What about this one?" I asked my friend. She just laughs with me because we know people will look. We look a little more. "Well, what about this one?" I asked as I hold up another jacket. "Can you see me in this one?" The store clerk was keeping a good eye on us. She comes up very close to us. We can feel the stare of her. Then she points us off to the cheaper stuff. She acts like we can't even afford to look, but we know we can afford anything in the store. We feel offended, but we know the lady is upset that we were there, so we showed her respect and moved on.
Even though we were here first,
Oh, hello.
it always seems we are shoved to the last of the people. Despite her shitty attitude, we bought her stuff anyways. As we paid, she acted like she was going to get cooties from us. Even though we treated her with a little respect, she treated us like we were below her. Whereas we all should be treated as equals, just as the Creator meant for it to be.
Fighting racism is a lifelong struggle for those impacted by it. Let's quickly review some U.S. history. Some 100 years ago, the policy of shooting Indians was pretty much over. We became U.S. citizens 70 years ago. 60 years ago, we got tribal governments. In the 1960s, we got civil rights. In the 70s, we got religious freedom. In the 80s, we got gambling. From shooting to gambling in just a few generations. It's been a long trail. All of us want to make the trail easier for our children and grandchildren. It was a Chinese man, not a gook, that said the longest journey begins with a single step. Do you have any advice for the young ones coming up about how they should conduct themselves or how they should act if they feel racism?
I think they should really be proud of themselves, of who they are and everything, and don't let anybody try to put you down or anything, because it's mostly stereotyping. If you face racism, it's mostly stereotyping, or they're jealous of you for some reason.
What I really say is that
no matter where you go or whatever you're doing, you always face racism. And I guess you'll have to deal with it your own way, because I can't tell you how to deal with it, because there's different kinds of racism and there's different ways to handle it. Just be proud of what you are and don't let anyone tell you different.
Try to educate the others about our culture, let them know what's going on and that we're not bad and we're just probably as good as them, if not better.
I think in time it will get better. It'll get to a point where everybody, like Martin Luther King, you know, everybody had racism on black people. And nowadays they're taking drinks on the same fountain as other people. They're sitting up front in the bus. I think that's how it's going to get better. That somebody's just going to stand up in the world and tell everybody, you know, we're all one person, we're all good. Just because we're different colors doesn't mean we should not like each other or be racist about each other. So, yeah, I think it will get better.
Indians have been here forever. The white man showed up 500 years ago. Centuries of genocide, perfidy, and fraud followed the initial encounter between these two races.
When is the white race finally going to realize that they get rid of us? They should learn to live and let live.
In Minnesota, the Indians are an island of culture surrounded by a sea of white people. The Anishinaabe are still here, still telling stories, still living. This is Res Life from the inside.